Think about it. You meet a girl, and she seems absolutely perfect. She's fun, gorgeous, and everything about her just pulls you in. From the way she laughs at your jokes to the way she texts you good morning, it feels like you've hit the jackpot. But then, something shifts. One day, she's all over you. The next, she's distant. One minute, she's sweet. The next, she's making you question your own reality. And before you know it, you're stuck in a toxic cycle, trying to fix something that was never meant to work. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. The truth is, not every woman is good for you. Some will drain your energy, mess with your emotions, and leave you wondering what the hell just happened. And the worst part, you won't even see it coming. Because they don't start off as nightmares. They start off as a dream. So today I'm breaking down 6 types of women you should never fall in love with, no matter how tempting they may seem. Trust me, knowing these red flags will save you from a lot of heartbreak. Let's jump in. First up, we've got the drama queen. And I get it. At first, she's absolutely magnetic. She's got wild stories, big emotions, and this energy that makes everything feel exciting. Being with her feels like stepping into a movie, one full of passion, intensity, and moments that make your heart race. But here's the thing about movies. Most of them have a dramatic ending. The drama doesn't just happen around her, it follows her everywhere. One week, she's in a screaming match with her best friend over something ridiculous. The next, she's quitting her job because everyone there is toxic. And before you know it, the chaos lands right at your doorstep. Maybe you didn't text back fast enough. Maybe you forgot to compliment her outfit. Suddenly, you're the villain in her latest episode, and trust me, she's going to make sure you feel it. She doesn't just react, she explodes. Small misunderstandings turn into massive fights, and somehow, you always end up apologizing for things you didn't even do. And don't think you can just ignore it, because if there's no drama, she'll start creating it. This girl thrives on emotional chaos, and if you're in her life, you're in the storm. How do you know you're dealing with a drama queen? Simple. She's always in some kind of conflict, whether it's with her ex, her coworkers, or even her own family. She overreacts to the smallest things. What should have been a 5-minute conversation turns into an hour-long argument. And she loves gossip. If she enjoys tearing others down, she'll eventually do it to you too. Look, I know the intensity might feel intoxicating at first, but trust me, this is one type of woman you do not want in your life. Unless you enjoy mental exhaustion, walk away. Fast. Second, the manipulative, nice girl. Now, this one is tricky because she doesn't seem toxic at first. In fact, she seems like the perfect girlfriend. She's sweet, supportive, and always seems to say exactly what you want to hear. But something about her feels off. She's not the type to yell at you or blatantly disrespect you. No, her manipulation is way more subtle. Instead of demanding things outright, she guilt trips you. Instead of arguing, she plays the victim. This girl knows exactly how to make you feel responsible for her emotions, and that's where she gets her power. She'll say things like, "I guess I just care too much," or "Wow, after everything I've done for you?" And just like that, you're wrapped around her finger, feeling like the worst guy in the world for not meeting her expectations, even though those expectations keep changing. At first, it feels like she's just really in touch with her emotions. But over time, you start noticing patterns. Every time you try to assert yourself, she somehow flips the script to make you feel guilty. Every time you express concern, she makes you feel like the bad guy. And if you ever think about leaving, she'll pull out the ultimate manipulation card. Whether it's playing helpless, making you feel irreplaceable, or suddenly showering you with affection to keep you hooked. So, how do you spot her? Pay attention to how you feel around her. Do you constantly feel like you're disappointing her? Do you feel like you're walking on eggshells to avoid upsetting her? Do you feel drained, even though she's never outright aggressive? If the answer is yes, congratulations! You're dealing with a manipulative, nice girl. And trust me, the best thing you can do is cut ties before she gets deeper into your head. Next, we have the social climber. And if you've ever dealt with one, you already know. She's not interested in you, she's interested in what you can do for her. This girl is smooth. She makes you feel like the most important person in the world. She hypes you up, strokes your ego, and makes it seem like she's genuinely invested in you. But here's the problem. She's not in it for the relationship. She's in it for the perks. She asks way too many questions about your job, your car, your social circle. She gets overly excited when she realizes you have connections, money, or influence. And slowly but surely, she starts positioning herself to benefit from it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with ambition. But there's a difference between a woman who wants to build with you and a woman who just wants to use you as a stepping stone. The social climber is the latter. And the second she finds a better option, she'll move on without hesitation. So remember, strip away the luxury. Take her to a low-key restaurant instead of a fancy one. Watch how she reacts when you talk about yourself instead of your status. If she loses interest the moment the perks disappear, you have your answer. And now we have the perpetual victim. This girl has a sob story for everything. And at first, you'll feel sorry for her. You'll think, wow, she's been through so much. I want to be the guy who treats her right. But here's the issue. She's not just unlucky. She's never responsible for anything. Her ex, a narcissist, her boss, a monster, her friends, all fake. Somehow the entire world has done her wrong, and she's just the poor, innocent girl who keeps getting hurt. But give it time. And guess what? Eventually you will be the villain in her story too. A woman who refuses to take responsibility for her actions will never change. If she's always blaming others, she will never be accountable in your relationship. And trust me, you do not want to be the next guy she cries about. Walk away. All right, let's talk about the perpetual victim. This is the girl who somehow has never done anything wrong in her entire life. Yet bad things keep happening to her. Every ex-boyfriend was abusive. Every friend betrayed her, every boss was unfair, and of course, none of it was ever her fault. At first, you'll feel bad for her. You'll think, wow, she's been through so much. I want to be the guy who treats her right. And that's exactly how she wants you to feel. Because if you're busy feeling sorry for her, you're not going to notice the one thing all these tragic stories have in common: her. See, the victim mindset isn't just a story, it's a way to control people. Every time you argue, she'll flip the script. Suddenly, you hurt her. If you call out her mistakes, she'll cry and say, I can't believe you'd say that. If things don't go her way, she'll shut down and make you feel like the bad guy. Here's how you spot her early. 1. Every ex she's ever had was a monster. If she claims that every single guy she's dated was toxic, it probably means she was the problem. 2. She never takes responsibility. It's always someone else's fault. 3. Her life is just one long sob story. She's always suffering, always struggling, and somehow she expects you to be the one to fix it. I'm not saying you should ignore a girl who's had a rough past, but there's a difference between someone who's genuinely working through their struggles and someone who just lives in victim mode. If she refuses to own her mistakes, run. Because eventually, you will be the villain in her story. Number 5. The commitment phobe in disguise. This one's for the guys who've ever been stuck in a situationship, waiting for a girl to figure out what she wants. Spoiler alert, she already knows. She just doesn't want you. This girl acts like your girlfriend, but never actually commits. One day she's all over you, texting non-stop, making you feel like the most important guy in the world. The next, she's suddenly busy, unsure, needing space, and the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. She'll say things like, I don't want a relationship, but I don't want to lose you either. Or, I just need time. Or the classic, let's just see where this goes. And you? You're left feeling confused, questioning yourself, and wondering if you just need to try a little harder to make her love you. Let me make this very clear. When a girl really likes you, she won't leave you guessing. She won't keep one foot out the door while keeping you on standby. If she's inconsistent, if she's hot and cold, if she always has an excuse for why she can't commit, she's not emotionally available. And you chasing her, that just feeds her ego. Here's what you do. Stop playing her game. Call her out. If she's still unsure after months of talking, she never will be. Walk away. Trust me, the right girl won't make you feel like you have to convince her to be with you. All right, last but definitely not least, the controlling perfectionist. At first, she seems caring, like she just wants the best for you. She remembers the little things, she gives thoughtful advice, and she seems like she's genuinely invested in your success. But give it time, and suddenly, her help starts to feel more like control. She starts correcting everything, your outfits, your habits, even the way you talk. She frames it as love. I just want what's best for you. But over time, you start to realize nothing you do is ever good enough for her. Oh, she just has high standards. But no, this isn't about standards. This is about control. She wants to mold you into her ideal version of a boyfriend, and if you don't meet her impossible expectations, she'll make you feel like you're the problem. You'll notice you start doubting yourself. You'll hesitate before making decisions because you don't want to mess up in her eyes. You'll feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to please her, but somehow, it's never enough. Listen, a healthy relationship should make you feel supported, not criticized. If a woman is constantly making you feel like you need to fix yourself to be worthy of her love, that is not love. That's manipulation in disguise. Set boundaries early. If she doesn't respect them, walk away. You deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are, not who they think you should be. And there you have it. 6 types of women to avoid at all costs. Look, dating is supposed to be fun, not something that leaves you drained, confused, or questioning your own sanity. A good relationship should feel secure, exciting, and stress-free. If any of these types remind you of someone in your life, it's time to rethink things. Don't ignore the red flags, don't make excuses for bad behavior, and most importantly, don't settle for someone who doesn't bring peace into your life. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever dated one of these types? Drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. And if you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. See you next!